I have a next question real quick. Can you explain to the people about the Dogons? People hear about the Dogons, but they haven't had a clear explanation in regards to the importance of their role in African history, as well as what would you call it? Astronomy.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. So if you
And
could give a little explanation, please.
Niger, Mali, West Africa, not just the Dogons, there's another tribe they call the Bozo, and they're almost like twin to the Dogons. And the thing is, just as we speak about subliminal messages, like I'm going to be doing a lecture entitled Fairy Tale Holidays and Nursery Crimes. The subliminal messages are so deep. For years, they've been throwing this clown in your face, talking about Bozo the clown, Bozo and his friend Cookie. And there's a tribe in Uganda named the Cookie people too. So what they have done, gotta do it all the time. If you watch wrestling, Kamala, the Ugandan giant, is mocking Idi Amin. So what happens really is that the Bozo people and the Dogon people of West Africa, the Cookie people are more of Uganda, but they're known. You'd see them just like the same Kamala if you watch wrestling back in the days. Kamala would come out with the stars and the moon all over his chest. So if you check the Dogons, you see them have the stars, the moon, half moon, the sun painted on their faces, and of course you see the dance I was showing you a moment ago. So they're considered some of the oldest astronomers, because as I was saying, now those in the Caribbean, you know about Carnival. You know what I mean? They like to say that Carnival is remnants of Africa. In a sense, they're correct, but they have really, carried it way off the scale. So some of the rhythm, a lot of, maybe, I don't know, some of your people in the audience could pick it up. Some of the rhythm you hear in these jam band bacchanal music, those are African rhythms. Those are the rhythms you'll hear the Dogons beating on their iron pan. And they do this dance with, you see, they have on the mask and the horns and everything. But as they're dancing and they're spinning and they're coming back and they're spinning, it looks nice. But they're actually mapping out the binary system movement of the star Sirius A and Sirius B, Potolo and Digitolo. That's what the stars are referred to as, Sigitolo, pardon me. And they do that dance to mimic the stars every 60 years. The Bozos have a similar ceremony as well. And when you go into their caves, you also see them mapping the stars as they do that, go around each other through the 60-year period. And in this modern day time, now the Dogons chart is hundreds of years back into the past. You understand? They've been doing that coming up into the future. But when you check modern day science now, with all our technology and everything, and we can now, see both of the stars, when we map the movements of Sirius, because, we have the technology now to map it back way to see what it was doing 100, 200, 300 years ago. It's perfectly aligned with what the Dogons were marking 200, 300, 400 years ago. So that is to show that they are well in tune, They can see stars that, well, I can say we can't see without a telescope. I don't know if it's carrots or what they eat in there, but they definitely, obviously, on the next level.
Based on because this is what interesting to me, right? There's a book. Far right, you read it. God is Red. It's an indigenous person. Yes, it's a what you want to call it? Native American, right?
Yes,
God is Red.
Yeah, man. One of the,
God is Red. God is Red.
The truest book them same way have fulfill the native them
a good
and
book,
bring
yeah.
forward everything.
And really speak about their whole spiritual experience and cosmology and all. But the brethren mentioned the Dogons, right? And what I found interesting is that along with the Dogons and other groups across the world, they speak about their origins being from the sky compared to a group that says that the origin starts here on Earth. So I wanted you to elaborate on their origin stories about coming from space.
Mm-hmm. Well, the dance, their primary god is the Nomo. Before we came on, I was listening to you dropping some Van Benjamin. Van have a song named Nomo. I think he spelled it N-O-M-M-O-R, or is No More. I don't remember how he spelled it, but the Nomo though, because the Nomo he talking about, but Van does a little thing. So he say no more like no more, but it's no more. No more is the fish people. And according to the Dogons, it is the Nomo people, the fish people, coming from the same Sirius constellation there that came and, made them. That's where they came from, the Sirius constellation. There are people that say they come out of the Orion Nebula as well. But, so the Nomo people were like half fish, half man. Obviously, we're dealing with allegory now. Let's not get too far away. And they came in boats with the rainbow over the boats. No more. To me, again, as I said at the beginning, all stories belong to Anansi. Well, I don't think I said that, but that's like a cliche you could carry with yourself. Anytime you meet these kind of things, say all stories belong to Anansi. I teach children that all stories belong to Anansi, meaning that it is symbolic. So, in other words, that fish energy, the story of Jonah going into the fish, it's the similar thing, and coming back out of the fish, because the fish or the Nun, fish is Nun, the Messiah or the Savior comes out of the fish, which comes out of the water. If you read works like Alvin Kunboyd, anybody can take a chance and read Alvin Kunboyd, and people like Alvin, Churchward as well, who wrote Primordial Man. These are, well, to be honest, degreed Masons, because they say so, which like to look at things from the more esoteric level. So I'm saying that, but obviously it is the Dogons and these people that they would have studied and analyzed their esoteric levels and created their modern day Freemasonic craft. That is the truth. We are the origin of the ancient craft. You understand? We are the ones that mapped the heavens, as Marcus Garvey said, and brought it to minute and regular calculus, while ones were just seeing the sunlight in the cave. So the Dogons now, that concept, if you see the Indian concept of Vishnu, if you type Vishnu, you see Vishnu, usually you see him coming out of a fish, with the fish mouth open and Vishnu coming out. In the Sumerian cuneiforms, the Sumerian gods, a lot of them have on, like they're wearing a fish clothes. So the science of the fish, that is why Bible again, Christ is a fishman. That's why you have fishermen and the fish and bread stuff. And it has a lot to do with the age as well, the Pisces age, because the Pisces is a fish. So the Dogons now, back to the Dogons, I just carried you on that little fish run to show you that there's a science there within the concept. It doesn't mean Jesus was feeding people fish to eat. You know what I mean? Because Bobo tell you that too. Man, Christ feed Bobo. I have a lot of Bobo eat fish. I don't eat no fish. Let me be clear. I don't eat no animals. Not with eyes. Not that can run for me and bite my back and them kind of
Yes,
thing. You know what I mean? But that's the next story altogether. But even on that level, even on the Bobo level, I honestly believe that it's a next extension of the allegory. But man, one's not on that level there, you know what I mean? One's just kind of keeping it dormant and quiet, so we're not seeing the bigger picture. You understand? And to me, the Dogons, they saw the Nomo that came down. I think the Nomo story is similar to a lot of stories where they created a set of people first and destroyed them and created a new set of people. In all ancient traditions, you get that story there. Noah, the Noah story is a next aspect of the same Dogon story. The flood and the boat and the ship, it was a new creation. That's why he had to get 2 of each animals. That is not a literal story. That's impossible. That can't happen. But the science of it, again, is the same ancient science with the god and his boat. If you notice in the Kemetic order, all the gods have a boat. The god must come in a boat. Marcus Garvey had his boats too. That's a next symbol to show you. Marcus Garvey had his 3 ships. Ra have his boat. Noah have his boat. Jonah, when they throw him off, is a boat he was on. And the same fish people for the Dogons. Fishing, coming on a boat. Imagine fish sailing a boat. That's the far.
Hey, I want to
we have time again. So much things in my mind, but go ahead.
Yeah, I love the reasoning too because they really bring forward something to why I even where I never even meditate. You know, say they talk about the Dogons and I start meditate. Say, people like me even want to call them a tribe because you know tribe is a whole European concept.
I hear
But for the sake of ones and ones who are reasons, the tribes them in Africa where have the highest of science. I don't feel like no science can higher than that. The Dogons, you have the Yoruba, in East Africa in particular, and so many other things. You know, say I feel like whenever ones tell them the fact that they are for the writer, so and have to explain to them, say when they talk about the concept of the half fish and half man, and them can't get the facts right off the top is an allegory and it's a bring you forward throughout a story. You know, so if they did a talk about Hercules or I talk about any Greek god,
better.
They would never have to explain that to ones and ones because them give so much validation through the media, through so much different channel of them Greek gods and goddesses. But yet still when it comes to the African tribes, them are nations, so to speak. There's so much explanation I forgot in it for one get this. Yet still it is the root. Enough ones and ones can't say it is the root. So we realize you see how the media paint an imagery of what Africa is and what the original root cause of every single thing is, that them change on the narrative that when I even speak, people get it. Ones and ones can't get it because them put I think on such a low level when it is actually the highest farmer level and the root of all things, you know?
Yeah, man. Real thing that. The Greek, a lot of the Greek mythology too, eh? Remember that is stolen from Greek mythology to super friends and superheroes, Batman, Robin. Look, we can go on and on. Them things are stolen African concept that has been morphed. See, like the same Pinocchio. Remember Walt Disney Pinocchio was swallowed by a whale. Not a fish, by a whale. And this is why you hear plenty people who tell you Jonah was swallowed by a whale. But you hear Jonah and the whale. But when you read the Bible now, it didn't say nothing about no whale. It said Jonah was swallowed by a fish. Because the fish is the science. But Walt Disney come and change it to a whale. Walt Disney, they might not easy. Them people ain't no easy people. Eh? Them people was put in their position to make movies for a reason, eh? to do some serious mind-bending Snow White and Seven Dwarfs and Cinderella and a heap of things. But
well, let me hear you say mountain.